update. Jimmy said he's gonna be a little over on the gravel on Buffalo Creek Road from what you thought it was initially.
We'll be okay.
Okay. Do you really have anything you want to approach on here? This meeting?
I just had a question on chairman's signature on 2 24-hour permits. Is that an 8-day allowance for 8/2 to 8/10? For Cambria Inn?
Yes, well, the one is an 8-day and the one is 1 day.
Okay.
Do we have anything else on the agenda? Hear nothing. Motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Second. Discussion. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Public comment.
I'm good.
You're good, okay. That's a June 3rd, 2025.
Under road and bridge, we just put, behind build a plan, something that states, I didn't quite word it, I didn't know how to quite word it, but put like a couple of the worst parts of the Greaves Road. Only because it sounds like we're doing the whole road. Like right after,
Kind of
On
patch.
parts
Yeah.
of the road?
right.
Okay.
Oh, and above that one, because somebody doesn't know how to put their sticky notes on. Could we put in there that no individual bid was awarded?
Good idea.
Yeah, that's good. Yes.
And then commissioner comment? Take out receive the and put accept collections for the.
The board does not accept.
Would like to know why the board does
Collections
not
for-
accept collections for the sheriff. That's all I had, Mr. Chair.
Do you have anything else? All those in favor of the agenda as amended, please say aye.
Hi.
Yeah, I need a motion.
I need a
Maybe.
motion.
How about this, minutes on agenda?
Yeah.
Make
So,
a motion to approve the minutes as amended for June 3rd, 2025.
Second.
getting ahead of myself. Any discussion? All those in favor of the Becky's minutes as amended, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. My apologies. So, board signature on county road fund project eligibility certification form. June 17th, 2025, project name, preliminary engineering for Greaves Road construction. Ken Rathburn with Engineering Associates did initial road inspection and consultation with Road and Bridge Department in regards to anticipated reconstruction of Greaves Road. Yep.
This sounds like he did, and not necessarily going to continue. So my question is, how much was it?
Yeah,
No dollar amount.
There's no dollar amount.
Jimmy, I don't think he's coming in today, he's traveling.
Well, if we could get a dollar amount on this, I'd feel better about, I mean, I don't mind. The whole idea behind this is that you can send them and defend it in front of the County Road Standards Board.
Yeah,
And if you have an amount, and they say, well, you know, if we put $6.3 million for the engineer, they're gonna, you know,
Yeah.
just have an amount on here.
So you wanna wait till the next meeting?
I don't think it's gonna hurt, it's just going in the file.
Yeah. I agree.
I stand.
Morning, Commissioner.
That okay with everybody?
Yes.
Whatever. Chairman's, moving on to chairman's signature on utility right-of-way easement agreement with Weston County and Sage Telecommunications for Colorado. K Street. Yeah,
Two of these I have a severe problem with.
okay.
First of all, K Street isn't listed on our county roads as a road. It's part of Cantel Drive, so it should probably be marked as Cantel Drive. And if they wanted to put the specification, that's fine, but to put K Street when we don't recognize it as Cantel Drive. And so that's uncomfortable for me because it's, regardless of what it is and anything else, they're asking the county, they call it the county name. The same would be with Kenwood Drive and the other one. That's Painted Hills.
Can you tell me where that is, this K Street?
K Street, you know where, well, it's at the junction of 450 and Highway 16. So the first left you would take if you were on Highway 6, well, if you're going on 16, K Street is like the last left-hand turn before you get to the junction. If you go to the junction and go on 450 and head south, it is the first left. That's not going into like a business like Automas. So that road curves. It was supposed to be part of the industrial park, and I think that's why it ended up being a county road. But you turn on Cantel and then it has a sharp, and the other way would be K Street.
Oh, I see.
It's got a sharp curve in it.
Yeah, that's something like that. So, in our county road book, we recognize that little cutoff is part of also Cantel.
That's road number 77? Is that what it says on it? I think it is. I got the book. I bought the book. See my rest.
So you want to live on that street?
It's, yeah.
So, but and their address is officially Cantel.
I don't know if actual residents, there's lots of intermingling out there. But if you're gonna go into the communities right away, you better call the road. Same with Kenwood Drive. That's Painted Hills.
So, we, at some juncture, the county designated that as Cantel Drive.
Would you like to
What
know
do you
where?
think?
It's all right, it takes a little while because I've got years and years of notes.
Fair enough? Like how it's through the bill?
They're
1977. 1991. West Side Industrial Subdivision.
Yes, there's, they're calling K Street right there. No, that's 450.
Well, this is.
It's 450. Yeah, Morris is up here. Yeah, it's 450. That's Doug Brown.
So that would be.
Yeah, he's right next to
yeah.
Patton Truck. Right there, Marty Ottoman's over here.
Wonder if Carrie has around here registers that.
Because there are addresses on K Street and Kenwood Drive, but they're not, I don't know.
What is that storage unit?
There's stuff on, I mean, it's,
I think it's in Cantel. Noel's story? Didn't he have a business on Canton Drive? I think that's Canton. I've never heard of K Street.
Yeah, it's in the, if you go on the map, the assessor's
It's
map,
on there.
it's marked as K Street.
That might be,
So whatever
this might be Dan.
Yeah.
incantation of how that evolved, I don't know, I
Another
don't,
piece of paper that.
I don't even have anything to tell me
That guy right in there has got,
why that went through.
used to be,
Maybe because of the facility.
Now,
no,
on the Kenwood Drive, there's a different story with the Kenwood Drive, but that's still Painted Hills and it's even marked as Painted Hills. So what happened with Kenwood Drive
here is.
was all those residents, and that's fair, didn't want to change their address.
So. That paper was from 91?
No, the road was petitioned in 1991. Inspected, advertised, and established in 1991.
And it should have been logged in the books as,
Yeah, I don't know where the K Street part came from.
Kara. You're not on there. The other one is the Kenwood Drive one.
Right, and that's even marked as Painted Hills. I mean, our sign even says Painted Hills.
How are these people coming up? I mean,
I think they're just going in there and looking. Sorry, camera.
So she said Kenwood Drive in the county road, it's road
Yes.
number 81.
Yeah, Kenwood.
And she's coming, she's on the same page on King Street. Yes. Hi.
what do you know about K Street? Anything?
K Street.
Is it Cantel Drive or is it K Street? Cantel County Road?
Cantel is a county road. K Street is a street name that was on that industrial park subdivision. So it's a platted right-of-way road that is connected to Cantel Road. I don't know if it was Cantel before they did the subdivision or not. I can try to find out. But Cantel is a Manor County road. I think it's maintained. I think K Street was just maintained along with it because it's a loop. I don't know. That's my assumption.
Yeah, because Cantel is the loop, the full loop.
And then they just called it K Street on the plat for the subdivision.
Must have been.
Yeah, probably. It's probably both, actually. That sounds nice. The only thing we have addressed on K Street is the Baker Hughes office.
Yeah, that's right in there.
And
So,
everybody else is on Cantel down there.
so what do we do?
So Mr. Chairman, I think you could ask for the permission for the Cantel County Road right-of-way, but you could include, put on the application that the the north-south portion of it as known as K Street. So they would know, but I think you have to ask permission for the entire county right-of-way. You're not asking for K Street right-of-way because that's a name, that's not the county road.
The new store. This is the one-stop shop. We have a pharmacy. We have a bootlegger's liquor. The deli, the food that you can get at a lunchtime is so amazing. The coffee shop. Certain Friday mornings, there's 30 people sitting here in all these chairs. This is the hub for people to come and visit, have their coffee, have their donuts. It's amazing what this area has done. Totally amazing.
You're not asking for K Street right away, because that's a name, that's not that kind of road. Oh, yeah.
Mr. Chair, what's the question?
Well, they're looking for a utility right away on K Street and us to grant them that. And I'm not, well, the concern is it actually listed that, and are we granting them an easement on something that's not properly named, or? That's the gist of it, right?
Well, in my humble opinion, if you're going to ask for, then you correctly name what it is you're asking for. I fully understand where they probably got the names. I'm not having an issue with that. And I don't have an issue, if you're gonna use the right of way, then use the county roads right of way. That's what county road is called, because we've never called it K Street.
And with the confusion that we're even noticing right now, I appreciate them listing it the way that they did, at least broke out. Not just Cantel driving it and assuming that K would be associated with it, but I would be okay with the combination of the first and second right away incorporating the known K Street coming off of the Cantel, rather than incorporating the unknown, asking for all of it without the specifics, at least it's broken down in the figure. I don't think K Street probably needs its own agreement. It would probably be combined with Cantel. If we grant that.
Well, then I'll have to send it back to Jen to send it back. I think this guy came out of Colorado.
Yes.
Looks like he's getting on Google Maps or whatever, and that's where he's getting the name.
Or on the assessor site and just seeing, and that's fair enough. He did his best, except on the Kenwood Drive. I mean, that's even marked on the assessor site as Peanut Hills. No, not this piece. I mean, you do on your other, but on this piece that. If you guys can come up with a map quicker than I can, that'd be great.
Coming off the Morrissey Road,
Because I dropped it
right after that subdivision.
right here.
Doesn't Kenwood Drive turn into Painted Hill?
Yes,
I won't find it.
yes.
Kenwood's listed on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have that marked as Painted Hills. It's even, the signage is even Painted Hills.
Yeah, it's
Any, well, even on the, you go to your map, the maps, and it's Painted Hills.
the online parcel viewer map.
And I even took a picture of our signage.
I wonder if that's what they're getting it off of, this parcel viewer.
Except it would,
I think it
says
depends on
Painted
which
Hills.
layer you use
Yeah,
too. Because if you use the kind of default layer, the topo layer, it has old folder labels on it. Actually, that aren't, that layer isn't updated by our office, but
So the Morrissey Road one is okay, I think, right?
I think that one's okay. I mean, that has
Kenwood Drive one's
some
okay.
interesting names in it, but those aren't anything to do with us.
Yeah. That's probably just a lack of. Does that Kenwood Drive start in city limits?
no.
No, it starts at
Paddle card.
at the section line.
Paddle card, where we come off more, so it's right at the paddle card.
It goes all the way. And the issue that we had when Doug Jory was changing all the names is nobody wanted to change their address in Wyoming. but it's still known as Painted Hill
You
subdivision.
guys want me to take the K Street and Manor and combine it and have the big one?
So, just these two. Anybody care to look at the, there's that Morrissey Road one in there too.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes,
The
ma'am.
only other question that I have, and I tried to look it up and I finally got frustrated, is the sphere of influence, and we had talked about Rick Dunford on that. There's a portion in that one picture that includes part of Saddle subdivision. So do these need to go to the city too?
You're talking the little corner up in the,
Which doesn't necessarily, they're showing here, so I think they're just taking a section. So hopefully they're not including that, but on your other one,
I don't think they are, I mean, in the drawings,
I think they're just taking a,
yeah, they're just taking a snapshot.
But that T intersection, Painted Hill Drive, that is that T intersection.
Key Street, Canal Street.
I see, so that's the way the company's side.
Yeah. I think where the confusion might be coming from, the Google Maps shows Painted Hill Drive dead ends at the T, at the top of the hill. And Kenwood Drive goes all the way from Morrissey past that T and keeps going.
and that's fair, it goes all the way to it stays within the Painted Hill subdivision, which is still part of that other, but it ends at the cattle guard on the section line.
Mm-hmm.
And then state land is to the south of
Yeah.
it. That's Painted Hills, and it's even still marked Painted Hills with our brand new signs. But if you go on, even on the assessors,
Yeah.
it says Painted Hills.
I mean, they're probably getting a lot of their names to the streets off of Google Maps and they're not updating.
So do we wanna wait on that one too? Just do the Morrissey Road?
Mr. Chairman, I think sometimes the confusion would be, if you put Kenwood Drive, they think they're going all the way up through the Kenwood Drive. They're only taking that section from the section line to the Morrissey Road.
Yeah. Okay.
And I am curious about the mileage of influence.
Those are Marion fiber optics, is that what it is?
Do you have these?
I do.
Okay.
Thank you.
Would you like to approve the Morrissey Road one then, minus the K Street, Cantel, and Kenwood? Yes, no? Yes, sir.
I would be okay with that as long as we've got a suggestion, so Telecommunications Corp of Colorado knows what they need to correct to further receive those easements.
They need, do you think you can, or just have them visit with Carrie, you think?
On the other three.
Yeah. So he has all his ducks in a row.
And, Mr. Chairman, in my opinion, you can't do anything with
Without
one.
this one, yeah. Fair enough.
I say he,
She, she.
they, whatever.
Board signature on resolution 2512. Where we at?
24-hour cater permits.
Oh, okay, missed that. So the 8-day one and the 1-day one.
The 8-day one is for their rally, for during the rally, the other's for a wedding.
Oh, thank you.
So it's more like, why we got an 8-day, but it's like,
8 days, a long time.
that it's for the rally, so they always do that so they can have their outside serving area.
That is. Oh, this is the.
8/2 to 8/10.
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve of the chairman's signature on the 24-hour daily beverage sales permit application for Cambria Inn Incorporated for 8 days, August 10th, 2025. Do you want to add the other one, or do you want to separate?
I think we did both of them.
And also the other application, 24-hour beverage sales permit application for also Cambria Inn Incorporated for the date of August 23, 2025.
Second.
Motion properly seconded. The chairman's signature on 24-hour daily alcoholic beverage sale permit. Is there any discussion? None, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Now we'll move on to Resolution 2512, amendment to the 24-25 budget. Any budget be amended by moving $95.61 from general emergency relief and adding it to general treasurer supplies, by moving $389.12 from emergency relief to general treasurer mile travel conventions, and by moving $556.84 to from general emergency relief and adding it to general treasurer communications.
This place is full of love. You can tell the people that like to be with old people because they really take care of you good and are very kind.
Twice a day, every day, activities people have an organized activity that's always interesting.
Everybody loves to play bingo. We play it 3 times a week here. We also have ceramics that you can paint. Really pleasant to live here. It's a good place to be.
She sent that email to everybody, didn't she? Yeah. Everybody.
Do you want to see this?
No, thank you.
Okay.
Anybody care to make a motion to approve the amendment to the 24-25 budget, resolution 2512?
So moved.
Second.
Properly seconded, is there discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed?
No. $2513. This is amending the county budget, removing $1,025.39 from general emergency relief and adding it to general district court special attorney account. I got it. Oh, yeah. Oh, no, that's fine. I don't want to sign it.
Just,
Is this the court-appointed attorneys?
I think so.
Okay.
You see this one?
Oh, thank you.
Was one of yours. I'll make a motion to approve resolution 25-13, amendment to the 2024-2025 budget to take $1,025.39 from the general emergency relief account and add it to the general district's, I don't know what it is that central?
Court.
Court.
Yeah.
General District Court Special Attorney account.
Second.
Good motion there. Any discussion? On the properly seconded motion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Aye. Opposed?
No.
Treasurer's report.
I do have one question. Susie, are you, can you come over for a second, Suze?
She on there?
I heard you going there, but I don't know if it was echoing in her.
Give a copy, right?
It is. I do. I think it's the one that she gave us. And Gary, you probably could have answered it, but I'll just answer it.
All the steel standing out at the airport, it looks like.
Getting some branding put up.
Making progress.
I had a nice test last night.
Had a nice what?
Test last
Oh,
night.
wind how?
Oh,
We can blow through it right now.
I'm just curious about the airport.
Did you? You have both of these, right? Yep. We'll just keep them here like this.
Yeah.
So,
That's the same.
They're working out there. Woodpecker.
I was like, oh my gosh, you better go get
Sus,
something.
No breakfast today, back here.
will you tell me under, because yours is always more interesting to read. We get used to a budget and then we get to yours and it's negative, you know,
what are we looking at?
Are we waiting on the airport capital project cash? You have it in parentheses.
Yeah.
Are we waiting for reimbursement?
Yes.
Okay.
And I talked to, somebody called me the other day and told me that we were getting some of it.
Okay.
Not all, I think it was about 158,000 something that's coming in.
Two checks that I endorsed this morning from the report added to 157.
Okay.
157,000 for our.
Did you bring them up here then?
No, we were waiting on his signature so
Oh,
we could
okay.
put him in.
Okay. Yeah, that's what he said, 100, I thought it was 150 or something.
Okay. That was my question. Thank you for taking your time.
Well, then, did you look at the Homeland Security one?
I was trying to get to there and I didn't want to really get.
Well, we did get 42,000 in the other day, but it's still in the hole. And there's, well, Wick's always in the hole.
Yeah.
Is that on that
Both is-
generator?
Huh?
Is that on that generator grant?
Or something. I think we just got the money for the generator, but we're still waiting on some SHSP money.
Oh, right there. So it's up 82 grand.
Yeah, we got 40 some in the other day. And then, the VOCA is,
2,000 is all, we got that one figured out
Yeah.
yesterday.
and then it's something that the sheriff, I don't know what that one is.
So when you say the VOCA you got figured out, it's coming or?
No, we straightened it out.
There was
Oh.
different accounts that it was.
Well, yeah, and when they first started, it was all one account. Then they split it into 3 accounts. So we had to split it all out to the right accounts where it was supposed to go.
Because the state wanted it in separate accounts, and so we had to do all of our adjusting. And then the treasurer's office had to do their adjusting, and it all got balanced out yesterday.
Okay, thank you.
Anything?
But it's hard when they're all reimbursement accounts. We have to front the money and then wait for the state to reimburse us. And so they always show in the negative.
It takes forever to get it done.
Forever. And then if we don't stay on top of those departments to get their funds back, we're always in the negative. Which affects our budget because we have to show that the county can pay all of that money, which takes away from our budget for our departments.
Right, so it's kind of sometimes, all the money isn't exactly always there.
No, it is not there.
Excuse me.
It's spent, but waiting to come in.
Well, and it kind of hurts our budget because we have to front all of these grants up front, which takes from
Well, we have-
Susie's budget, my budget, the
Everybody's
sheriff's
budget.
budget, the regular budget, because we're fronting these grants up front, taken from our regular budget.
Yeah.
Is it the department heads or is it just the process? It just takes forever.
The process takes forever. Well, sometimes Gilbert won't do his draw timely. I'm on him all the time.
As long as you're on it, you're good.
But I do think the state takes a while. I just think they have a
Yeah, they
slow
take a
process.
while.
I just wish there was a different process, like
Excuse me.
there was a different pot for the grants, not within our own budget.
Well, I'll just put my little editorial in here. Put her in the cash system instead of the accrual. We could do that.
It's just so frustrating. As a budget officer.
Because we would use encumbered funds.
They're all encumbered, but they keep getting used.
Okay, thank you very much for doing that. Mr. Chairman, I move to approve the treasurer's report.
No, I can't agree. Why didn't I hide my plan from you?
Second.
Motion properly seconded to approve the treasurer's report. Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. We will take a 15-minute restroom break. I guess. Oh my God.
Yeah, when I first met her. What was she? 6? What was she? 6?
Late 5-ish.
She was, I bet she was 5'10". She was tall.
Yeah, she's always been.
Deal with that.
So that, the advertising issue yesterday. Issue yesterday. Is that Michael? Michael?
I don't know who it
All right, well, I'm gonna get back to the meeting, but let me know kind of what you come up with. Okay, thanks, Doug. Bye.
That actually does sound right.
Jessica was the second one.
Oh.
Can I start with an A? That's what I was thinking.
I keep thinking C for some reason.
Ann, was it Ann? And.
That might be right, it was Ann Brock.
which is really close to C.
Just have to go through the alphabet.
World it is.
A world of difference if you go to N or something.
I could see it. Very funny. I did.
whole lot of people in jails and prisons in Wyoming who really didn't mean to do anything wrong, but they screwed up and they did. But apparently Becky Hadlock and other elected officials in Wyoming are in fact above the law. At least that's what I think the governor showed us with his decision.
And I think he did too. And I think he makes it blatant by avoiding the clear violation of the law. The rest of it, you can, yeah, she got the testing done. It was at the last minute, at the last chance, and she failed it. But she did submit the report on the day, even though it was like 11:59 or whatever. You know, like
Right.
There's some ways you could finagle the other things, but he blatantly ignores the malicious intent and the felony committed.
And he jumps through so many hoops to let her off. Let's
I'm not sure. You see her when you want to. Are you zooming in?
Yeah.
That's good.
Good morning, still. You can have one.
Oh,
How are you today?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
What a nice day.
Oh, we've had several in a row.
I know.
I don't think I've ever seen it this green.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
It's just wild. I gotta take a picture of my pasture though, because it's orange and gold and purple. And I don't know what noxious weeds have decided to fly in, but I got them all.
No,
I haven't. It's the most beautiful thing, but I don't think it's the most
Probably
beautiful
not.
thing. Sunflowers this tall.
do you pasture it?
Yeah, we let bulls in for about 3 months, and then the other side we had cows in there for 3 or 4 months, you know. But it looks like somebody stood at the pond over on the other side. It just went like this, and the disbursement just
The
goes.
seeds?
Yeah, it just the disbursement of the plants just looks just like that. I'm like, you know, because there's white top. It's not gonna be pretty.
Yeah,
It's pretty,
yeah,
but it's not gonna be pretty.
yeah. Depends on if it's edible.
Yeah, there's probably a lot of, probably a lot of stuff in there. Never seen it like that. And that's why you never see it.
Yeah, I go out spraying every spring, and then I go
all
out
of them.
spraying every fall.
That Red Creek Road basically.
They said they were behind on spraying for white top, so it's rather like.
Bring
Oh,
the north
I don't know what white top is.
part
Is that
of
yarrow?
No, it
Yeah.
stands about,
Yeah,
it's
well,
actually kind of yellow, actually.
Yeah.
And it stands about this tall, and it's
Yeah,
got a real
this-
thick stalk
Especially
on
if,
it, and little flowerets.
it's not as
Kind of
big
like
as
yarrow
down
has the
there,
big
but
condensed
the
one.
guy
These are kind of
can
more
pick one off of.
open.
Okay,
I got
I'll
15.
check some of that.
Yeah, it's all over, because I thought it was sweet clover, and I was like,
Have a nightmare.
goodness, the bees are gonna have fun this year.
Yeah.
But then it came up, yes, way taller.
I don't have that yet.
That'd be the word to say is yet, the way the wind's blowing. Yeah, because normally when you do the sweet clover, you get all the millers.
Pretty good. We're just about to get real busy here, Got our tractors out yesterday and we're getting them ready and they're mowing and baling. Yeah, I'm hoping that we get a good crop.
It used to be more regular. So, winters, it's just.
Warm weather now.
Yep. Yeah, it's a lot, it's,
Yep.
I'm gonna say it's
Hopefully got enough moisture.
it's every 2 years, so it's either biennial or biennial.
Yeah.
Every 2 years.
We didn't get nothing last night. You got
Spring
cereal.
that was gone. Just said this year's.
See much more Russian thistle, that's the purple, that beautiful Russian corn thistle.
We got rain.
Yeah, that's because it's some places are good. It's summer.
Part of the place got about 3 times.
By the time I got.
How about overall, what do you got?
And the cheatgrass, it's gonna be
Did you see that one picture?
quite a year.
better than a good 30 days ago.
Good. That's good.
30 days ago, it
It was
was,
scary.
yeah, I thought I was gonna have so long cows.
Well, we're way long snow, right?
Yeah, snow, no moist like snow. Really, we never had any moist since last night.
Yeah.
And then dry it up. We're gonna head into about May 7th this year.
Well, I'm glad it could recover.
A lot of weakness.
Yeah, well, that's, we gotta go
Forget
to
it rained
that.
all the time.
I swore we did that
Yeah.
purpose because it was on the field.
I go to my store room and I look like a professional sprayer.
You hear us, Drew?
Enough.
You hear us, Drew?
All right.
You're up. Call meeting back to order. You're up, Drew, for the update on Newcastle BLM RFP.
Yes, good morning, Commissioners. So I don't have much of an update since last month. We did get an email from Chad Kraus with the Newcastle BLM, and it's looking as though sometime mid-July, they will be sending over to us an administrative copy of the final EIS for the resource management plan. And we're hoping, the last email I said is we're gonna get around 30 days to review. So I have not seen that change at all. If it does, I'm sure Chad will be sending out a note, but I have no additional information besides that. Are there any questions on Newcastle?
Not seeing anything, Drew.
Okay, just a quick update on Thunder Basin. So WCCA, Micah and Tristan as the facilitators for Thunder Basin National Grasslands Working Group, we will be having a meeting and a tour next Tuesday, the 24th. We will be meeting in Bill, Wyoming, and we're going to go out on the grasslands and look at some of the areas that have been treated, talk about some monitoring and some implementation, and of course mapping results and funding that might be needed for implementation of the project. And then we're going to come back to Bill after that, and we're going to have a meeting at the community hall in there. So I will be attending, and I will be reporting back to you how that tour and that meeting went. Are there any questions on Thunder Basin?
I don't think so, Drew.
Okay. 2 more quick updates, and then I'll do Black Hills, and I actually have a request from you all. So Greater Sage Grouse, we still don't have an answer of how we're going to proceed yet. The state, and particularly the governor's office and the Game and Fish, are still working with the BLM and other states to determine how we're going to move forward with the EIS and get to a record of decision. And we have no strong indications or decisions yet about how we're going to do that. So just a quick update about no action and no new information. And then the other thing that we are working on with a lot of different entities is the Department of Interior's Secretary Burgum put out a Federal Register notice asking for regulatory reform in DOI. That is a big task. They are looking for any policies, rules, regulations that need to be modified or repealed as is consistent with law. So going back to FLPMA, going back to enabling legislation, are there things that we need to scale back or reset? that is a major task. So the deadline for that is June 20th, which is this Friday. However, they are putting together an email specific for this effort. So we will be able to submit different things on an ongoing basis if we'd like this particular secretary in this administration to undertake a review of certain rules, policies, or programs. So if there's anything specifically you all would like to bring to their attention, please let me know. We are working with a lot of other entities, trade organizations, WCCA, on a whole host of things to be able to submit, not only this week, I'll be drafting comments for Campbell and Converse counties, but also on an ongoing basis. So I wanted to let you know that that was open. We will be able to continue to provide input, but obviously with the nature of what's going on in DC, the sooner the better for it to be undertaken. So are there any questions on that? And then I'll go to Black Hills.
I think so, Drew.
Okay. So regarding Black Hills, I don't have a lot of updates on movement at this time. We continue to try to work with the forest supervisors, and there was a meeting in May. There wasn't a lot of new information presented. I know Jeannie's got maybe a couple updates. We're working on some things for Crook County specific to potential wilderness areas, but nothing has been proposed in Weston. So good job, Weston. And if anything does come up, I will let you know. The one thing I'm going to ask is I do need some legal assistance from Fallon Law Office, just on looking at some legal things regarding the National Forest Management Act, NIFMA, the 2012 planning rule, and relating that to the land use plan revision. So I've asked both Crook, I've talked to Commissioner Todd, and I've asked both Crook and Weston if you would authorize me to go ahead and work with Fallon Law Office to get a few things straightened out in my head before we enter into the scoping notice on the NEPA EIS. So if I could ask for that, Commissioner Todd, that would be really helpful for me. And just a reminder for the commissioners, so when we did my FNERPA contract, we also included Fallon Law Office services in that if we needed them. So it is included in your contract. And just as a refresher, regarding the Black Hills specifically, the state picks up 100% of our activity. So none of that gets billed back to you because we recognize that this could be a long and ongoing process. So I just wanted to remind you of that. However, the two counties do direct my work as they direct Jeannie's in order to get reimbursed from that account. So that's why I'm asking for your support in allowing me to work with Fallon Law Office on some things regarding the land use planning process.
Drew, I brought that up this morning, and we kind of visited briefly about it. Because it's already in the contract, do you just need a verbal support from us, or do you?
Yeah.
Do you think we should have a vote?
Commissioners, I think that's up to you. I just want to make sure I'm transparent in moving forward because there will be some billing that comes back. And the way it works is you all approve it, Crook County actually pays it, and then they get reimbursed back from the state. So if there's any questions, I just want to ensure that you knew that I was doing that and that you authorized me to go forward. You can decide whether or not you can do that verbally or with a motion. I'll take your direction.
I think for clarity in the minutes, I think the motion would be good. Have it that way. That way, if somebody wants to go back and research it, there's a motion and a second and voted on in the minutes for the public record. So I would make a motion to allow Drew to use Fallon Law Office for legal assistance with the Black Hills National Forest Land Revision.
Second.
Okay, you got a motion properly seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor of Drew using the Fallon Law Office for legal advice, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Yeah, you got it. Sure.
Fantastic. As always, I appreciate the commissioners' support. I'm thinking I don't see Jeannie on there anymore. I don't think she had a whole lot to update, but that concludes my report, commissioners. Do you have any other questions, or is there any other things out there that you need to make sure I'm apprised of?
Anything, Brian?
The deadline Friday, explain that again on what kind of information you need.
Brian's wondering about the deadline on Friday for that Department of Interior.
Yeah.
What is it that they're,
What are they looking for there as far as their overreach, or what are you needing for that, I guess is my question. Explain that again on what kind of information you need.
Brian's wondering about the deadline on Friday for that Department of Interior. What is it that they're,
What are they looking for there as far as their overreach, or what are you needing for that, I guess is my question.
Well, commissioners, it's anything and everything, so it's a huge ask. So it's any policies, rules, or regulations for any programs within the Department of Interior, so that you feel need to be modified or repealed going back to the enabling legislation. So it could be oil and gas, mining, recreation, special designations, ESA under the Fish and Wildlife Service. It could also be National Historic Preservation, NEPA, national parks. So it's wide open. If I would say, if there's something in particular that you've been concerned about, please send me an email and I can help jot a letter up for you all to be able to send in and get it on the record. And this doesn't have to be by Friday, it can be after that. But this is a huge ask in looking really at overreach. Have we gone too far? Which in many cases we have. And so what should they be focusing on to scale all of that back? It's a big ask, but it's a great opportunity.
It just, Drew, this is Marty. One just flew across my empty space that I have between my ears, but how about the, I think it's called the Equal Justice Act for All, or whatever it is, where the NGOs get to have their lawyers paid. Is there something in the works going on with that one that we could include that somewhere?
There is. So I would also say another thing that's going on, and let me just give you, you just jogged my memory for two quick things to update you on, and I'm going to make a note of it so I don't forget. So that actually is what I would consider falling under NEPA, is the NGOs and the, I'm not sure exactly what the word is, you called it Equal Justice Act, but there are some things under NEPA that they're looking at regarding those types of questions. Just as a reminder, we are back to the 2023 NEPA statute for enacting NEPA. So there were some things that happened and Congress took it up and made some changes. So we're no longer operating under CEQ's implementing regulations that we've changed several times in the last 10 years. So now each agency has to come up with their own NEPA procedures. DOI is doing that, and that's one of the reasons that our very own Karen Bud Fallon went back to DC working as the number 3 person in DOI under the secretary, working on NEPA procedures for DOI. So I think that's where that comes in, is probably through NEPA, where we get our most challenges on procedures, and we'll make sure that we include some language on that. And I know that it's been brought up by several other organizations as well.
Thank you.
The one thing you jogged my memory on, Commissioner Ertman, is in case you all missed it, there was a press briefing with the president and his cabinet probably a week and a half to 2 weeks ago. And it was all about wildland fire services. So the USDA and the Department of Interior have combined services into one office, which will be held under the Department of Interior. It will be called the United States Wildland Fire Services Office. So very close to Fish and Wildlife Service, but it's going to be another office, and what they're hoping to do is to integrate those and combine them so that they're working on together and making decisions together regarding wildfires across the country. They have produced a heat map looking at what areas they think are going to be hot spots this year. From what I could see on the TV, it was hard to see, but the Northeast and then coming into Idaho, Montana, and coming maybe down into Wyoming from the north was looking like a red spot on the map to me. But it has been funded so far with $13 billion, and the president has given full authority to do whatever they need to make sure that those fires are under control as much as possible. So that is a new development that I wanted to make sure that I brought to your attention, is that new office. You'll be hearing more about it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Drew. Jeannie, did you have something you were wanting to visit with about? We lost you there for a minute.
You're on mute. Looks, she doesn't have much. She doesn't have much to report. So she can't get it off mute.
Thank you.
With that, Commissioner, that completes my report to you today, and I thank you for all of your support.
Thank you, Drew. Appreciate everything.
Thank you very much.
Have a great day.
You too. All right. So we need to move on to the agreement between Timberline Services and Weston County for the CMAC CM 25410.
Thanks, Brian.
Chairman's signature. Yeah.
Did, Timberline Services acknowledge your bids?
Or Jimmy didn't sign it.
No, it's not the same. And the attorney's already looked at this and believe Michael signed it already.
Sorry. You already signed it?
Yeah, mine was signed it.
Oh, you did already?
Yeah. Anybody want to see it?
Timberline's good.
Oh, yeah, we've got that all switched up.
It's the same one that I already signed then.
Jesse, thank you very much. Mr. Chairman, I move to approve your signature on the fiscal year 2025 CMAC agreement with Timberline Services.
Second.
Motion properly seconded for the chairman's signature on the 2025 fiscal year CMAC 25410 agreement. Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? there another spot?
Not mine anyway.
All right. Give a copy of that resolution.
It was just to rescind the constitutional redistricting. But you just have to bring it back up 6 months later.
Okay, moving on to resolution 25-2, which was the constitutional redistricting resolution where we appointed this, our,
I think, Mr. Chairman, the resolution was to rescind that.
Yeah.
So I think the resolution that we're revisiting is the one that we tabled
it's
to
rescind.
rescind.
Yeah.
It was just tabled for 6 months.
Because we had said that we would table it.
okay,
And so I think all we're doing is,
visiting that.
we're revisiting because we said we would.
Mr. Chair,
Yeah.
being that we're revisiting that, could we have that resolution read? No, it's not.
I can go.
Okay, thanks.
Good morning. Good morning. This is still morning. Good morning. Dan, there's still a seat. You can sit down.
I don't want to get that close to them, I might catch something.
Well, it's sitting
Common
right.
sense.
Well, yeah. It's not on the electrical plug, so there won't be any problem with that. Look how brave you are. That's funny because I put them on the table and then I walked away from them. I wasn't sure which one it was, so I had the whole 9 yards and I just, whoops. I'll try. Next time, put them in my bag, huh? Oh, we did? This is cool. Oh, yeah.
Sorry,
What do they call
it's
it?
4:45.
That's here 30% more.
I'm tired.
Yeah, they was gonna do it on like Thursday before that and then rain, so they ended up doing it on the 10th.
It's still closed.
No, they just closed it today because they had pump trucks set up on the side. So they pumped cement on that. They was open that evening, closed in that morning, so that afternoon.
Got after.
Bored out there.
Yeah.
I tried to talk years ago in the library.
Resolution 25-2, resolution rescinding 2410. Whereas on April 2nd, 2024, the Weston County Board of Commissioners approved resolution 2410, the purpose of which was to declare vacancies in the positions of Weston County State Representative and Weston County State Senator. And whereas the Weston County Board of Commissioners desires to rescind said resolution for various practical purposes, although the board is in general agreement with the idea of Resolution 2410. We hereby resolve that Resolution 2410 is hereby rescinded and repealed in its entirety. Dated this date in January.
I apologize, I didn't bring it with me today because I haven't been feeling good, but under Robert's Rules of Order, if you don't vote for something in the first place, then you can't rescind it later. And I believe that Commissioner Wagner didn't vote for the original resolution, but he brought this to us after the fact. So to me, that makes it kind of a moot point.
Just to speak on that, I don't know if that would matter because boards change. So if you wanted to rescind one from 2003, those commissioners will not be there. So they would rescind it. They have the ability to rescind it. So I'm not sure that, I think that works on other things, but on that resolution you may, I believe you guys, this board, a year ago rescinded one concerning the stray dogs, and I would guarantee none of you were on the board.
That's true.
Yeah.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, ma'am.
I would like to hear from the public of what has happened with this redistricting, with what's going on with the legislature before we make that, if you don't mind. Mr. Chairman?
Yes, ma'am.
I would like to hear from the public of what has happened with this redistricting, with what's going on with the legislature before we make that, if you don't mind.
I can speak to that. First of all, Weston County basically brought forth a bill, Senate File 174. It was sponsored by Ogden Driscoll. It had the approval of J.D. Williams, Sherry Steinmetz, who am I forgetting?
Nyman.
And Chip Nyman. And it passed. The Senate, we had near bills. The Senate file was the one that ended up passing both the Senate and the House. And and that our bill, which was drafted by Weston County residents, primarily Tricia Bauman and William Curley. That bill stated that there would be an interim committee formed and that they would look at redistricting and basically constitutional apportionment. That has happened. They've formed a subcommittee and they're slated to do 2, and the third one being concurrent with the corporation's meeting. So there's going to be 2 and kind of 3 meetings. I don't know the dates on those, and I'm not sure that they have been set to discuss that. And we are bringing some proposals forward that would meet the requirements of both constitutions, both the state constitution and the federal constitution. So we're making progress on this, and Weston County obviously has been the kind of the driving force, and that's because of concerned citizens and people that have had this issue at heart since 1992 when it became an issue. And so I guess my request is, first of all, do you guys have any questions about that?
This question that I have is, would you Would you say that the support, the commissioner's support on resolution 2024-10 could be accredited to some of your support or some of your progress in that area?
I think so, yes. I think it's nice to have the support, and so that we're not fighting against our own leadership, basically. And so I would really appreciate if we would continue to have your support. At this point, we have a constitutional senator, myself, and a constitutional district representative. We have asked not to be seated because then that would cause all kinds of problems with just the voting in the Senate and the House. But at the point where every county is in compliance with the Constitution, then we would like to be seated. So we would really like your support. We would like to not rescind this at this point. So.
What committee was gonna take up that bill?
It has been signed to the Corporations Committee.
Corporations, okay, they are meeting in,
They met in Lander.
yeah.
And they.
Upcoming meetings is August 14th and 15th in Casper. And then they're gonna meet again November 3rd and 4th in Cheyenne.
But that's the regular committee. I don't think that that's the subcommittee.
Okay.
Right, and so I don't think the subcommittee has been, they've made the meeting schedules for that.
Do you know who the members of the subcommittee are?
Yes, it is Senator Steinmetz, Senator Boner, Senator Case, Knapp, Representative Johnson, and Representative Weber.
And those dates haven't been scheduled yet.
Not that I'm aware of, and they said that they would get the message to me, so, but at this point, I haven't heard.
I thought I remembered that the day we talked about this and Commissioner Wagner brought it up, once he found out that we had been invited to the legislature to speak and stuff, that he rescinded his motion to even do anything. But then you guys went ahead and voted to rescind a motion that he pulled from the deal, so I don't understand why it would have to be rescinded, because he initially pulled it once he said that there was that. And then he would revisit it to see it in this period and then take it up if he wanted to re-present it. That was my understanding of what went on in that meeting. But the state, you don't want to do anything before December 25th, because that's when the subcommittees, by state statute law, will have to meet back with the legislature and give their findings of how they're going to do this. And I think Weston County wants to have a foot in the door. I mean, we're in the door right now, and they're looking for us, and they said, yeah. And how this really, what really cinched it down there, I think, was when I pointed out that for 4 years, 100% of the Republican Party from all 23 counties unanimously voted to do this, Article 3, Section 3. And so we pointed out that the people have spoken statewide, not just Weston County. Every county voted for this. So we know the people want something different, and we know the people deserve something different, and we believe that working together we could do something different. And both committees, and that's pretty unusual in Wyoming for committees to do a unanimous vote. Is that not true? And the Senate unanimous vote, and so was the House. And they were both, and we were told that Case was going to be the hard nose, and you know, but he was the one that yelled the loudest yes when he voted to do this. So we're gaining. It's not going to happen, and we didn't want to ruffle feathers. So I wouldn't touch that. I mean, I for all intent and purposes, I believe it's dead, because Mr. Wagner withdrew it. And he said, well, I'll look at it in 6 months and see if I want to change my mind. Well, if he wants to present it.
Mr. Borden asked for it to be tabled for 6 months.
Yeah.
Well, whatever, and Mr. Wagner agreed to it. So,
The combing down through this, it seems to me like the original issue still resides in the same place, and that was from the state not amending Article 3, Section 3 at the creation of the districting as we know it now.
Correct.
Now that does, the trickle-down effect does create issues, because if you do something different but don't say that you should, at that point, it's waiting, it's a lit candle waiting for somebody to notice it and say something about it. I personally am still in favor of Resolution 2024-10 because that supports our state constitution. So the question is are we going to support the Constitution? It says it this way, or even when Mr. Driscoll was here, the problem resides right there when the amendment wasn't made to Article 3, Section 3, and somebody has to deal with it. Somebody if not the whole state, somebody has to notice it and deal with it later on, which it puts you in a pinch. Are you in support of the way that we're just doing it right now on a districting, or can we pull up Article 3, Section 3 and say, there was a reason why the state of Wyoming did not amend it, and it still reads this way. So I'm still in support of 2024-10.
Two things that I give me the most hope on this is that Driscoll, when he gave his presentation, which was excellent, he brought up the fact that we might want to deal with this one time before, when we were forming this up, they said, well, maybe we should wait until the next census. Well, Driscoll said, we wait until the next census, it'll be a 3-day battle. Everybody will hate everybody because we got to get it done in 2 days or whatever. He said, I think it's time we look at it when we have time to sit down as neighbors and decide how to do it. And Case then said, who was on the committee, he said, I think we need to do this. He said, because even if we ignore this and go back to a vote of the people to change the Constitution, which is one of the options, they can get 2/3 of the legislature to put it in and do it. He said, more than likely, there's a good chance it won't pass. So we'll be right here in this vote again. He said, so I think it's time we take the time this year, get it done. So that was pretty encouraging to me for those statements to be made.
Mr. Chairman, something else that came out in the newspaper and kind of quoted Case saying basically that the judge had given us permission to disregard the Constitution, and I want to just say that is incorrect. We never have permission to disregard the Constitution. And the other thing I want to say is we're bringing forth some proposals to the subcommittee that will be in compliance with both constitutions. So I think we're making great strides in following our Constitution. Why do we have a Constitution if we're not going to follow it? It's the supreme law of the land. We need to be following it. And so I'm asking for your support, your continued support on this. Again, I stand for any questions you guys might have.
With the headway you're making, I would have no intent of moving forward with that resolution.
Okay, great.
25-2.
Thank you.
I can't believe that many legislators have actually agreed on something to move forward with like this. So that was a real surprise, and really commend you guys on the progress you've made with it.
Yeah.
And there's several people down there, among them was Chuck Gray, that said they're really even willing to forget the part about the 14th, because it really doesn't, they're saying, some of them are saying it doesn't even apply to what we're saying here. Whereas Case, he's all for the 14th. So it'll be interesting to see where it goes.
I
I did too. I also listened to the lender and when they set the subcommittee. And I do caution you that we should go in groups to go when they do the meeting because of what Senator Bonner said. I would ask you to go listen to what Senator Bonner said and show up in force.
Mr. Chairman, you know, they were impressed at how many of us was down there and testified, and we had a pretty good group. You remember Trish, how many was there
I'm sorry. Where?
at the hearings?
About a dozen.
Oh, yeah,
A
good
dozen of
dozen.
us. And, but there was no elected officials or any type of official from Weston County. And we were running a county resolution down there. And I agree with you, Marty, but I think we really need some of you people at those meetings. I mean, I think that adds more credence to it. Yes, and don't get me wrong, both our senators and both of our representatives supported us in Cheyenne, but this is a local deal. And then you guys would also have firsthand knowledge of what went on instead of us reporting back.
I've been there. Last 22, I sat there by myself a lot of times. I didn't have anybody sitting behind me. So I watched it on Zoom this time because in no way did I want to influence in any other way because this came from the concerned citizens. So I watched on Zoom. I was signed up to speak, but I chose not to. Because it has to come from the grassroots.
And they commented that it was that did look good because it was, none of us were elected officials that presented it. But now that it's been presented, they originally talked like 4 meetings around the state when at the committee hearings down there, when they were talking about how they would do it. And then, of course, once the legislature got over and we weren't there, they cut it back to 2. So, and went to a subcommittee, which we were hoping that because if it stays in the corporation committee, it just gets buried with all the other stuff. The two that they're going to have will just strictly address Article 3, Section 3. Yeah. I agree with you. As many as we can get there is what we need there.
I don't have any issue with 2410 other than what we did with assigning these mock representatives. And it appears to me like, I don't know that you're going to get much done being a mock representative down there. It's got to be enforced by a group of folks. But that was my only issue with 2410. That was the part I didn't agree with.
And further reason, because I did go print it out because I wasn't a part of that. Didn't quite work the way that is spelled out. It's the way it should have worked out. It should have been done. It didn't follow those the specifics as were written in there, and that kind of got me because that's not how it worked.